Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Howdy. Howdy. This is the new tone of the Jim Norton Show. I'm going to begin talking in a southern drawl. Howdy. I don't even know if you can hear me. Lou, can you hear me? Lou said, yes, sir. My cooted. It's weird when you do the show from home because you always feel like no one's listening. That's why radio people say weird shit and say things that get us in trouble because you forget that people are actually listening. So I'm okay. My nose is in horrendous shape today, so I apologize in advance if, as I talk, it sounds like two Samoans are putting their dicks in my nose and fucking at the bridge. I've been doing Afrin because I've been, laying there at 1 o'clock in the morning, wide awake. And it's very difficult to fall asleep, so I shoot a little Afrin, and then that keeps you awake, of course, because it's like a methamphetamine. But then the next day, your nose gets stuffy again. I had a thing happen today. We have these little life lessons. I was on one of the dating apps, and I'm still on all of them. And, my God, I can't fucking breathe. I'm literally dying here with my stupid nose. And I was talking to a girl, and I'm not even looking to get laid on these apps at this point. Like, literally just coffee dates are fine with me. Because it's something to do. And it feels normal and healthy to go out for a coffee or lunch with someone. And we were talking. We had a nice conversation going. And then all of a sudden, she kind of stopped. So I wrote back. I'm like, hey, let's meet up. And she writes back, I'd rather not. To be honest, I'd rather not. Sorry. And so I wrote back, oh, okay. Because you swiped and we had a nice chat. So I was wondering, okay. I said something. I didn't ask any question, but I did by the nature of my response. But of course, I misspelled a word. So then I wrote back and spelled the word right. And I said, well, no wonder you don't want to meet up. I can't type properly. I wasn't mad. But I realized that I had responded twice when she made her feelings known. So I just unmatched with her before she could respond. And I didn't send her shitty responses because I wanted to say, well, how come? You're curious as to why. But the reality is she didn't really owe me an explanation. You know what I mean? We always say, when a person just stops responding to you, I've always said they're letting themselves be known. This is their wishes. They're not responding to you. Leave them the fuck alone, narcissist. And then here I am. She's honest with me. She doesn't just not respond. And I still want to keep it going. So again, this was in the space, my response back to her and then finally unmatching her was in the space of 10 minutes. I just caught myself wanting to know why, but I realized I don't need to know why, and she doesn't need to let me know why, and she's not obligated to let me know why. I didn't want to lash out and be angry because she really wasn't cunty. She just said, no, I don't think I want to. Sorry. And I didn't like that. But again, who cares if I like it? She told me the truth. So, when you unmatch somebody, I think it erases the whole conversation. That just kind of disconnects you from them. So I'm glad I caught myself and did that. Because the last thing you want to do is invade somebody's space. Let's see. Colin in San Diego has a great question. Hi, Colin. Oh, Colin dropped. Well, his question was, how did you get Marilyn Manson to follow you on Twitter? Are you guys friends? We are. But I met him through an email connection. A friend of mine in L.A. wanted us to connect, and we were going to go hang out at his house because she knew him. So she email introed us. So he writes me. He's like, hey, man, you're a really sick guy. Like, he likes my act, I guess. And this is about 3 years ago. So we emailed each other for a while, and he's so fucking nuts. He sends these really funny, bizarre clips. He'll be watching something on Fox News or whatever it is, and he'll just I'll get a clip of something on the news, and him in the background making a noise. You know, he's just completely out of his fucking mind. And then he sent me his number. We started texting. So we became friendly, and like every time we were in a city together, we would try to meet up, but it just didn't work. Because I'd be out in L.A. doing Leno, and I would have a call time of 10 a.m., and I'd wake up and see a 3 o'clock in the morning text. Hey, you want to hang? You know, get that rock star life. We finally met up in Rock on the Range last year in Columbus. I texted him, hey, I'm doing a gig here. And he's like, well, come by. So I hung out in his dressing room. He keeps it pitch black. And it's before he went on. And I'm eating fruit in Marilyn Manson's dressing room. Like a true gentleman. You know, and then he had his dinner served, so I left. And then I saw him afterwards. And it was quite a rowdy atmosphere. Really, really nice guy, though, to answer your question, sir. So it was one of those unusual friendships that kind of developed just by texting, and we finally met and hung out, and I really like him. So let's see here. Craig in Connecticut, another important question. Hello, sweetie.
Jim, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Oh, listen, I just saw something that I think Uncle Paul would be interested in. It's called the AIPOLY Vision, APOLY Vision. It's a free app for blind people. So he can point it at his PECA and see.
Oh, that's chipper, though.
Oh, I'm sorry, for Chippa.
So you're looking for a photo, sir. From where?
Yes, from New Haven, Southern Connecticut State University.
Hold on a second. Let me see here. Because a lot of my photos are up. What happened was there was a bit of an issue. New Haven, Connecticut. I'm going on as we're talking, you little sweet angel.
Lyman Hall.
Yeah, the photos are up.
So what's the website, though?
JimNorton.com.
That's it. It's that simple?
Yeah, and then go to photos. Because people have been asking me, there's a couple of, and thank you for the call, man. Go check it out. I'm sure your photo's on there because all the photos are uploaded. A couple of people have asked me from a couple of the last gigs, I think like Denver, Indianapolis, there's a few of them where the photos are not up yet. And it's because there's a problem uploading. The pictures are fine, and my humble apologies. They will be up. But I just had an issue with something in the site that my site manager said that the people who fucking do this I have to fix. But it is being taken care of. So I don't want you guys to think your photos are fucked, because they are not. Dave in Tampa may have some advice for me. That's the fun. It's the Jim Norton Advice Show. But who says who gives who advice? God damn it. I'm getting some advice. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Jimmy.
How are you?
Yes, I'm a little bit nervous, but
no need to be nervous. You're among friends, Ricky. What's up?
Thank you. Hey, the Afrin, it's basically a steroid, and that's why it gets you hopped up, and then you get stuffy again. Now, I went to my doctor like 2 years ago, and she gave me this product. The prescription cost me with my insurance like $45 a month, which is nothing.
What's it called?
It's Dymista. Dymista.
Why would you say that? That's not nice. Hey, Dymista. Yeah, I've heard of that, actually. I've heard of that, and maybe I'll check that out, because I have this other stuff. There's Flonase, which is supposed to be very good, which is, I believe, over the counter now. There's a bunch of them that are no longer. Stuff like Nexium that used to be prescription is not. So there's so many of them that are now over the counter, and I think that they don't work as immediately as Afrin does, and that's the high of Afrin. Dr. Steve ran me through all this one time. Poor Dr. Steve. You know, fucking Dr. Nicopolis got Elvis. That was his celebrity client. He has to hear me. Hey, Steve, my nose is stuffy. Yeah, you are. You might want to clean it out with a shotgun. Boy, has he had enough of me. So thank you. I'll try Dymista. I appreciate that, Dave, all right?
Very, very good. Thank you.
You're a sweetie. Hello, Pat in West Nyack. What's up?
I used to be a heroin addict for years, and then I finally decided that it was time to quit, because everything was suffering: my job, my relationships, things with my family. And I started doing really well. I was an elevator mechanic. I was in a union in New York City. I started doing really good. And then one day, I had an accident, and I broke my back in 3 places. I ruptured 3 discs, ended up having surgery where they took out one of the discs, and the surgery is now a failure.
How long ago was this?
What?
How long ago did you break?
accident was September 28th, 2011.
Okay.
Then the surgery, because it's workers' comp, was in September of 2014.
Wow, okay.
During this whole time, well, the only thing that they could do for me was put me on painkillers.
Right, which are very addictive.
And it kept getting higher and higher. It started out with Percocet, and that wasn't enough. Then it went to, like, you know, OxyContin, and that was a low dosage. I'm now at 3 40-milligram OxyContins a day, plus 3 30-milligram oxycodones a day, plus 3 Valiums, plus 3 350-milligram Somas a day. I'm like a fucking zombie now.
Let me ask you a question, Pat, because I don't know your history. Did you get sober through any type of a program, or did you do it on your own?
I actually went to one of those long-term, you know, I was gone for like 19 months.
Wow.
And I did the whole program, and I went through it, and I was clean, and I ended up going back to work. Things were going great. The week before I got hurt, I had just gotten a promotion. I was going to be in charge of the entire maintenance division of this company. I was like, the go-to guy. Things were going great. I had my own truck. The company gave me, this was in 2011 I got hurt. I had a brand new 2010 Toyota Tundra. The truck alone was worth like almost $50,000 that the guy gave me.
So, all right, hold on, slow down. The money doesn't really matter. When you got out of the rehab or whatever you went to, what support system did you use?
I just changed all my friends. I was only hanging out with people that were clean. Like, in the elevator business, I don't know if you've ever dealt with anybody. It's like a thing where...
It's got its ups and downs.
Where 3:30 rolls around, everybody cuts off, and they all go to a bar and start.
That's a lot. That's a lot of jobs. A lot of cops do it. A lot of construction workers. But the thing is this, Pat. All that is peripheral outside stuff. What happens is, like, I know it sucks when you get hurt and you got to have. I've had very minor injuries, but luckily nothing long lasting that required consistent pain medication. And it's a really tricky area. But it really helps to have people, whatever the support group is, a 12-step group or whatever it is, that you can call and talk to, because a lot of it is motives. Like, if you take pain medication, we all go, yeah, I'm hurt. But you have to ask, first of all, am I hurt bad enough to take the pill right now, or am I taking it because deep down I like the feeling it gives me? Am I conning myself a little bit to get more and to get more? And it's a really subtle thing because it's mixed in with genuine discomfort or genuine pain. And that's why it helps to have people around, somebody who can give you the pill when you need it, or again, a support group to talk to, because when you're talking to people who are in the same boat as you are, it's much harder to con yourself. So now you're in this situation where you're hooked on pain pills and you're probably afraid you're going to go back to heroin or whatever. I would suggest detoxing from them, getting into some type of a group. And if you must take them, because again, there are medical reasons, and I can't fucking pretend I know what the device to give you on that. Be very careful and get somebody to monitor you.
I have it's like shooting pains one time, and then the next thing you know, I'm completely numb on my right side, and I can't even feel my feet. It's gotten so bad.
I know. It sucks, but there is a way to do it without quote unquote relapsing. And if you're now addicted to pain pills and you're doing them, then you're back into an addiction. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's less deadly. You know what I mean?
I don't think of it like that, because I think it's, because I know exactly where it's heading. But the thing is that it's the pain I can't deal with. It might be because I'm a pussy.
No,
whatever.
you're not a pussy, dude. It
hurts. And I look at it and it's like I've got real reason. I've got some serious, I have serious injuries.
Well, you get guys like Ronnie B who are very hardcore, who wouldn't even take pain stuff after a appendix operation because he was sober, and I believe he told the story on the air. And Ronnie's so funny. I think he said something like, I started planning what music I was going to listen to, and he goes, I knew that was trouble. So he knew his motives might be questionable, or he knew that he was too weak to do it, and he didn't do it. Now, chronic back pain is different than, post-operative pain, which will eventually
I can't even get out of bed without help from somebody. I need help just to get it. For me to take a shower is like a process. I need my girlfriend. I have my dog who I use to help brace me. My girlfriend has to help me step over.
Is it possible? Let me ask you a question. Is it possible to go to a rehab or a detox, tell them your situation, and get the proper medical advice and be around sober people? Because again, no one is saying you can't take that. Look, if your pain is legit and you medically need that, no one can tell you not to take it. But there might be alternatives to the medicine. Or once you detox from them, there might be a lesser dosage. Again, I'm not qualified to talk about that. I just don't know the answer to it. But I know that if you go to a detox, there is a way out, dude. You're not doomed to a life of feeling like you're in an addiction. There is a way. Maybe you'll need to take extra steps. And again, maybe you'll have to have your girlfriend dole them out to you. Or maybe you'll have to be in a little bit of discomfort sometimes, just to make sure you take your pills instead of every 4 hours, every 9 hours, or whatever it is. But do me a favor, just investigate that, investigate a detox, and talk to somebody there and see what they would recommend for you.
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
Good luck, Pat. Keep us posted, okay?
All right, buddy.
Good luck, buddy. Let's see here. Oh, this is funny. Bill in Boston. This is the story of my fucking life.
Hey, Jim. How's it going, man?
How are you?
I'm doing good. So I'm 31. I've never really dated a really attractive girl before.
Sure.
Usually they're not into me. So I met this girl a couple months ago, really hot, really attractive. So my question to you is just it's been 31 years of internalized insecurity.
Sure.
So how do I, am I doomed to always feel because I almost don't even trust that she likes me. You know what I mean?
I believe you. I know. Oh my God, have I been through that? A couple of the prettiest girls I've ever dated, I broke up with. One of the girls who was actually in a bit that I did on stage because her ass and her pussy were so plump. We started dating. She's a nice girl, but we had different wants in life, and I ended it with her. And I dated one time a very, very beautiful yoga instructor. And the insecurity was terrible. And then all of a sudden we were dating. Hey, she did like me, but she drank a little more than I wanted. And, again, our lives were different. And I ended it with her very nicely because I felt I was about to cheat. And I didn't want to treat her shitty. And she started crying. And I'm like, we were only dating a couple months. And she's like, no one ever broke up with me before. And, it was probably a stupid mistake because now she's making a lot of money and I was a dummy. But, they are people too. That's the point I'm making. I put them on this pedestal. Oh my God, they're so hot. They are the same. Some of them are great fucks. Some of them are lousy fucks. Some of them have bad breath and smelly pussies. Some of them are dumb. Some of them are brilliant. You understand? So there's the same variety of personality and in flaws and in great qualities and beautiful people as there is in ugly dopes like us. So the key is to remember, she likes you. Why would she waste her time? If she's dating you, that means she must like you because she has more of a choice than an ugly girl. A lot of times a hot girl dating you means she likes you even more because she doesn't need to date you. She could go out and find you're probably not as bad looking as you think. You sound ugly, but I could be wrong. But you know what I mean? It's one of those things where she does not need to waste her time. She's not desperate. If a fat girl dates you or an ugly girl dates you, question her motives because she might just be fucking desperate. But a hot girl can go fuck anyone. Hey, man, be lucky that she chose you.
No, I appreciate that, Jim, and I hear you. I guess my question is I'm 31, but do you think when I'm 37, 38, I'll finally fucking accept myself for what I look like? Because that's the worst part. I hate fucking... All day I'm just I'm not good looking enough. It's just annoying. It makes life hard. You know what I'm saying?
I do. So I think I put on 3 pounds again, and I keep looking down at my fat the whole time I'm in studio. What am I doing? It's this utter narcissism. And I don't think they had that in the 50s and the 60s because beauty was stressed, but there weren't as many images of beauty available on your phone and everywhere you go. Now there's nothing but good looking people. So if you're not perfect with washboard abs, you don't compare. Just accept yourself and let as they say, the proof be in the pudding. You have a hot girl whose ass you're eating. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Thanks, bud.
All right. Goodbye. Joe in Texas has some advice from our friend Pat from Nyack. What's up, Joe?
Hey, Jim Boo Boo.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. Yeah, I listened to the old boy's story a second ago, and it reminded me a lot of what I went through. Actually, today is my 2-year. I hate calling it a fucking anniversary, but
I know what you mean. Yeah, congratulations. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I don't consider myself clean because what I had to do. Long story short, I had a pretty significant injury. The whole surgery deal, I was being fed hydrocodone like crazy. Never intended on abusing it. Well, I was addicted, man. And, I got tired of living like that. So I finally, owned up to I had an issue, I had a problem, and I started seeing an addiction counselor, who's also an MD, and he started me on, Suboxone,
yes.
morphine. And, there's a lot of, I guess it depends on people. There's a lot of bad, things that are said about it, but I can tell you from my personal experience, it has saved my life.
Good.
I was going down the wrong road, and, on top of the pill addiction, I was suffering from my PTSD. I was drinking a lot, and I haven't had a drop of alcohol since that day I quit. And, man, those two things are the best thing I've ever done, but I think you gave him the right advice. Find the best support system and look for the other alternatives. And as far as this pain goes, the Suboxone is actually can be used as a pain management therapy as well. It's just something that I hope he's still listening and maybe he can research or something. But it's a terrible fucking disease, dude.
Thank you. Yes, it is. It's a rough one, and it's really sneaky. But if you're vigilant, you can stay sober, and you really can have a great life. But he said he didn't have a support system when he got out of the rehab. I never believed that much in long-term 19-month facilities. I don't know if they do you any good. I'm not saying they can't hurt you. They can't help you, but I don't think you need it. I think that, a month in a rehab, if you want to stay sober, 2 or 3 months maybe. We have a conflict. I got to go to Andrew. He's got a conflict. Thank you very much, Joe. This is a guy who's saying Suboxone is not what you, for him it didn't work. Andrew, what's up, buddy?
Jim, love you, man.
Thank you, buddy.
So listen, I just really don't think you want to get into that. It's just a replacement.
Okay.
You could spend 5 years on Vicodin and think Suboxone is the greatest thing in the world, and it is, because you could go from taking 8 to 10 pills a day to only doing it once a day. But it's really just a replacement. And I got to tell you, I did hypnosis, and I happen to think that that's probably the best solution.
Okay.
It's all in our mind, man. It's all in our mind.
Yeah, I mean, there's a physical element to it. But it's not just in the mind, but that's a big part of it. I haven't heard of hypnosis working for it, but I mean, hey, look, it works for smoking. Why not? It certainly wouldn't hurt. Thank you very much, buddy.
Thanks, man.
All right. Allison in Baltimore. I should get a horn to blow every time a woman calls in. It's so infrequent. You have advice for the guy on pills. What's up, Allison?
I do. Hey, Jim.
How are you?
So I have been through this whole ordeal with the back surgery and pills, just coming out the other end. I used methadone, went to a methadone clinic every morning for 3 years.
Wow.
And then just weaned off of that. And for people saying that it's a replacement, yeah, of course it's a replacement. But I believe it's a better alternative.
He's off. Sorry to interrupt you, Allison, but he's off heroin for a while.
Okay. So my advice, basically, the medical system is fucked. It's, you go to a doctor, you get pills, and that's supposed to treat whatever. And it doesn't. It fucks you up more because use leads to abuse. Just by taking it, you're addicted.
Yeah.
So honestly, what I've been doing is seeking out other alternatives, like a somatic experiencing practitioner.
There's also like stuff, it might sound crazy, but everyone raves about stuff like, whether it's a chiropractor, whether it's, what's the thing with the fucking acupuncture? And again, I can't speak to them, but there might be alternative methods to just doing oxycodone.
Yeah, but I would definitely advise him to do what he can to get off that shit because it's going to fucking happen. And
all right. Thank you so much.
All right, Jim. See you in May.
Take care. Gorf in Oklahoma. Am I saying your name wrong? Or is that Jeff?
No, Corb.
Oh, Corb. He wrote Gorf. Like, what is this, a mythical creature? Hi, Corb.
No, it's Corb, K-C-O-R-B, Brock spelled backwards. I've had trouble with it my entire life.
Casey.
Hey, hey, Jimmy, I called you a couple months ago. I asked you about advice on having my wife peg me.
Okay.
Okay, and you basically said just be honest with her. So, kind of got around being honest with her. There was a scene in Deadpool where there was like a 3-second scene where she was pegging him, and I was like, that looks like fun. Didn't say anything until we got home. She goes, what was that about? And I was like, well, quite honestly, I've always wanted you to peg me. And she's like, that ain't happening. I was like, well, and I admitted that, well, for the last year, I've been using your dildos on myself when I jack off. And she goes, well, she was kind of weirded out at first. And she goes, well, I want to see how you do that. And so she was interested in the whole rigmarole of me getting in the shower, cleaning out my ass, setting down my towels, getting the iPad ready. I was like, well, if you're going to watch
wow, she wanted to see the whole fucking ritual. I like this girl.
She wanted to know what was going on. Okay. I was like, well, if you're going to watch me do this, you're going to have to either be naked or wear something sexy. And she did, and I lubed up everything. I got the porn going. I slowly slid it in, and I did it to completion. Good. And she goes, well, okay, I didn't know about that. She processed it. A week later, she goes, well, let's do it together. And she still won't wear it, wear it because she feels funny, but she's totally accepting about it. So I guess your advice worked, brother.
Well, you know what it is, dude? It's something like that. When you're asked, because women have an idea of what masculinity is as well. So for some of them, putting on a dick and the husband who is a man, it makes him like, is he gay? Is it feminine? They don't know how to handle it because they were raised with the same set of rules that we were. Get a new rule book. But I understand that was really great that you did that. And it's cool that she's kind of coming along. Because I think a couple of things happen. With sex stuff, there's so much shame. And I feel it certainly. Asking somebody, exposing ourselves to somebody, could you just do this? And that they say no and rejects us. It's such a personal and private and real rejection.
It's a fear realized. Yeah.
It makes you feel realized. And I think the part with them that's hard for them sometimes is they're dating us or they're married to us and they know us. And then all of a sudden we hit them with something out of left field.
Yeah, 16 years later.
Yeah, and exactly. And an important thing for them to know is that, yes, this person likes this, but they are still the person that I know them as. Like, see, they may think that, well, if I fuck him in the ass with this, all of a sudden he's different. He's not the guy I love. They don't have to, they have to understand, like, he's been this guy all along. He's been this guy for fucking 5 years now. You know, he's not just gonna change overnight. Like, she's not gonna stick a fake dick in your ass, and the next thing is you're gonna come in with a fucking wand and be Tinkerbell. It doesn't work that way. But, you know, sometimes, so for us, we have to know that it's okay to like what we like. And for other people, they have to know that if we spring something on them or we discover something, that we are still the person that they thought they liked. You know what I mean? This way they don't explore something and go, who the fuck am I with? So that's really great that she did that.
Well, I was just calling to give you an update and appreciate it, man. Keep on trucking on.
Thank you for the update. I appreciate it.
All right, peace, brother.
All right, goodbye. Brian in San Diego. I should have said SD. That would have sounded cooler. Hi, Brian.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Okay, how are you?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say that, I've been listening to you guys ever since, I pretty much started right after the whole, after, Aunt left and I saw the whole controversy and everything like that, and that's pretty much right when
after. Okay.
Yeah, I came on, maybe right after it happened, and I've listened to, the show back in the day since, and, everything was great. And I just want to say, I see all these haters and stuff online, that are just always hating on Opie, and there's some that hate on Ann and all this other crap, and I just want to say you guys do a great job. I listen to you guys every single day, and you are freaking hilarious. And I just remember back when, you and Opie, just kind of let all your feelings out and had that little argument or whatever you guys want to call it, or whatever that was about, and I don't know, man. I just wanted to see if you given it any thought or whatever. If you're actually come October, I don't know if I missed an episode or something like that, or if you're not really able to talk about it right now at this point. But I
honestly, I appreciate you listening, but I honestly don't have an answer for you. I don't know. The company has reached out to start talking, but I don't know. I mean, they're pretty annoyed at me right now for that, that Ant thing, and You know, I don't know, man, to be honest. Opie and I are getting along great. I'm enjoying him in the morning. And look, people that hate the show, or they hate Opie, or they hate me, hey, man, so I get it. If you liked Ant, and you liked Ant on the show, and for you it died that day, and you resent, I can't even, okay, I respect that. I accept it. It is what it is. We're doing the best we can.
I was just saying, like, I never even got a chance to see the show when Ant was there. That, like, I started right when it was just you. Right, yeah, exactly. But
I'm saying there's some people that just have that thing, and that's where a lot of the hate comes from. But as far as me, I just don't know. And I'm not being coy or trying to play negotiating. You know, I have a mortgage now, which I haven't had in years, so I do need to earn a living, but I'm not in bad enough shape where I would do something I didn't want to do, because thank God I've always been financially responsible, and I don't buy something that I'm never going to be able to pay off. So I'm considering it. I see what other offers are out there, and I'll see what they offer, and that's the way it is with anyone when they negotiate. But I do not have an answer for you. I literally don't know. So, but I'm enjoying my time with him right now. We're having a good time. I think he's enjoying it with me. We're having fun. There's a lot of fucking people coming through. I think we kind of keep it busy on purpose, which is good.
Yeah, man, the show's doing great, and I figured you wouldn't be able to give me a straight up answer right away, because that's still a long ways away. But just letting you know, man, like as long as everything's cool with you two, the show's great. You're hilarious. It's doing good. So, all right, man, thanks for taking my call.
All right, Brian, take care. Ben in Pittsburgh, what's up, Ben?
Hey, Jimmy.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good, buddy.
So, yeah, been with my girlfriend for about 6-7 months now.
Okay. You've been with her or living with her that long?
Dating.
Okay.
Not living together. And just recently, she's stopped with the sex.
Why?
Well, she's on birth control, and she needs to take penicillin for a tooth thing, and she's worried about pregnancy.
Okay.
And an opportunity for sex outside the relationship has come up, and I'm torn.
Wait a minute. So she just do this temporarily because she has she's on penicillin for something?
Yeah, and it can lower the effectiveness of birth control.
Well, why don't you give her a break or wear a bag?
I'm allergic.
It's not like she's cutting you off. Okay, then just wait. Just eat her box and jerk off and have her yell at you. Why don't you hand her a fly swatter and tell her to whip your dick until you come on your own leg? Be a silly goose. I mean, you don't want to just cheat on her because she's got a medical issue.
Yeah, but we were going from like anywhere from 4 to 12 times a week down to nothing. Like,
how long was the prognosis of this?
There's about another month.
Well, I think that you should hang in there if you really like her. That's my opinion. Especially since it's not her fault. She's not being an asshole. She's legitimately having an issue. So give her a break, dude. Just be a nice boyfriend. If you like her, don't fuck it up over this. It's silly.
Also, you're going to be in Pittsburgh anytime soon.
Not sure. We're planning the second leg of the tour, and hopefully I will be in Pittsburgh. I would love to get back out there.
Yeah, last year you were here on my birthday, and I couldn't get a hold of you. I couldn't afford tickets.
All right, well, I'll come back out.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Let's see here. Sean in San Francisco has some very needed advice. Hello, Sean.
Good afternoon, Jimmy.
How are you, sir?
So, I'm doing fantastic. So I have a pretty smoking hot Latina girl, and generally when she rides me, she has no problem orgasming. But when she's on her back, she'll sometimes use a vibrator,
sure.
And that's how she can, work it in missionary position.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day, she was on her back, and I pulled my boxers down. They're kind of like a boxer brief, so they got the kind of strong elastic. And I didn't pull them all the way off, and it basically kind of pointed my dick up against my belly.
Yeah, you had them under your balls probably, right? The boxers.
What? Yeah. So the boxers or sweatpants or whatever you got, so it kind of keeps your dick pointed up against your belly because she's on her back and I'm laying on top of her.
Right.
So my dick's not pointed down; it's kind of pointed straight.
Well, yeah, my dick curves up anyway, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I got this like nice kind of perpendicular angle going, and so what was happening is my dick is not impressive at all, but the dick head was constantly making contact with the clitoris, and it wasn't going in that deep, but it was a pretty constant friction.
What sexy talk this is. My dick was perpendicular, and I was under. I had a whole pulley system under my testicles.
So she came in just seconds. It couldn't have been even a minute.
Oh, that's cool.
Just that, yeah. So if you don't have, if you don't have a beautiful cock like you can, work. Try working that angle, and then it's not even. You don't even need any toys. Just pull the boxer down enough to get that dick pointed straight up towards your face, and then just let the clit have it.
All right. Well, she's a Latin girl. I think the best way to do it would have been to fuck her and just play Trump speeches. Was Latin women really like that? When you play Donald Trump speeches, it gets them wild. Thank you for the advice. Where'd he go? Okay. Susan in Illinois. Hello, Susan.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hello.
Hey, I just want your advice on something, if I could take a little of your time. My husband died 1.5 years ago from brain cancer.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But so I have not. I'm trying to get back out there into the world again.
Sure.
What advice do you have for a 48-year-old woman?
Well, we live in a different era now. You're my age. I'm a year younger. You came up a class of 85 or something. So now dating is different than it was for us years ago. Tinder, Bumble, Happen. There's a million dating sites. You can put your profile up there. This way you don't have to meet some asshole somewhere and then tell them, yeah, my husband died of brain cancer, blah, 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 blah. They know that going in. You could just say, I'm recently widowed. You don't have to give the details to you.
Okay.
In your profile. Recently widowed, looking to get back into dating, not looking for hookups, looking for a guy, whatever it is you like. Maybe looking for a guy who will let me explore ass eating. Whatever it is, I'm not speaking for you. Maybe you want to put that, looking for a guy who will let me step on his prick. Whatever makes you happy, my love. But I think that's a great way to do it. And, recently widowed, so looking to go out to dinner, looking for a guy with a personality. If you're looking to hook up, and that's not what I want, whatever is true for you.
Okay. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right. Sorry to hear about your husband, but at least now we have a way to move on and meet new people when we have to.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Good luck, Susan. All right. And here's why, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wonder why Jim Norton is a fucking dope, a lot of you wonder, what is so stupid about Jim Norton? I have a woman on the phone. Grief is wrapped around her. Now, as a person, grief is my friend as a man. So she says, how do I get back into dating? And I don't think to say, you send a comedian photos of your vagina. That's how dumb I am. All right. I'm glad I didn't say that. That would have been silly. Ryan in Cincy. What's up, Ryan?
Oh, well, I've been a fan for a while, man, and I just wanted to say that I'm coming up on a year sober, and I wanted to thank you because I've been listening to, old O&A clips and listening to the show now, and it was nice to be able to hear someone who's been sober for so long, and it's not like you don't lose your edge, you know what I mean?
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, not at all. I'm the same creep I've always been.
I'm sorry?
I'm the same creep I've always been, but that's nice of you to say.
Well, it's just, I know everybody, goes through sobriety their own way and stuff, but it's nice to know that people can still be, funny and still retain their personality in such a way. So that's, helped me through a lot of hard times.
Thank you, Ryan. And I find that your real personality comes out because so much of it is covered up being afraid and being the fear of exposure and the fear of, whatever it is that we're afraid of. And when all of a sudden you stop doing that stuff and you start to change the way you are, your personality begins to develop and come out more. So that's great. Good for you, buddy.
Right on, man. I'll stop kissing your ass. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. That's nice of you to say. Ant's in rehab now. That we talked about that last week, and I'm very happy for him. I hope that he is successful, and, I hope it works out. He's going to be the same guy when he gets out as far as being funny. He'll probably have better judgment skills. He tweeted something today, which is why I'm thinking of him. And, I just hope he sticks with it. I hope he sticks with it because, once in a while it's easy and then once in a while it's tough. But he has so much to offer as far as being a brilliant and funny broadcaster and personality. And so I really, really hope that this is the end of the line with that part of his life. Because, you know, I really want to see Ant stick around for a long time. Let's see here. Ian in Pennsylvania. Hi, Ian.
How you doing? Long-time fan since Lucky Louie and Monster Rain. First-time caller.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, man.
So me and my wife have been married for 3.5 years now, been together for 6. Okay. And the entire time we've been together, I've been faithful to her. She'd been through a lot of medical problems, and during her most recent stint back in January, I learned that she had an Ashley Madison profile and had been talking to other men.
How did you find out?
I was looking on her phone for the prescriptions that she uses, and it was during that a notification had popped up that she had received an instant message.
Well, let me ask you, did you ever suspect anything?
Never really seriously.
Okay. So there's 3 women that are actually women on Ashley Madison, and your wife was one of them.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Did she meet anyone, or was she just talking?
Well, I believe her when she said she didn't actually follow through with anything, but she did some things that I consider unforgivable, like sending out nude photos and our address.
Why the address?
I guess she was kind of tiptoeing that line about actually, like, basically from what I gathered, like, I actually went through and read the conversations while she was in the hospital so that I can get a better understanding of what it is I'm dealing with.
Sure.
And it seems like she would go as far as possibly arranging a meeting with somebody, but then backing out at the last minute.
Okay.
Like she couldn't actually go through with it. And sometimes she would actually use me as an excuse, even though it wasn't a valid one at the time.
She was addicted to intriguing and feeling dangerous and flirting. How long are you guys married?
3.5 years.
Okay. Usually it would take longer than that, but you know, if you don't think she met anyone, can you forgive her? I mean, it was stupid what she did, and it's shitty. But if she didn't actually fuck anyone, can you forgive her? In this technological day and age, with walking to the edge of the cliff and actually continually backing away from it?
That's kind of where I'm at, is like, it's been a couple of months since I figured this out about her. And on top of that, I've turned into what I believe is just a monster shithead, where I've fucked 3 other girls since then. Like I said, I've been completely faithful to her until I found this out, and then all of a sudden I just became this sex addict because I feel like, I don't know. I guess it's just my way of dealing with the rejection that I felt after being so faithful for her. And so
you don't want to feel stupid. You don't want to feel stupid like, oh my God, I was a good boy and I didn't have to be, and then here she is fucking whoring it up on Ashley. Yeah, I understand, sure.
And fucking these 3 other girls, I don't feel any better about it. Like, you know, like the last one that I was with, like, I guess, like, maybe I would feel a little bit more shameful about it if I actually gave a little bit of a shit about the girl I was fucking at the time. But I guess, like, is there a way to forgive someone for doing something you personally consider unforgivable?
Well, yeah, because you have to understand, like, why you consider it unforgivable. Because it hurt your feelings, and it makes you feel small and deceived and threatened. And those are understandable things, I'm sure. But there also could be the thing of, wow, she must really love me if she comes this close time after time and just couldn't pull the trigger. Because there's 1 million people who do that stuff and don't pull the trigger, and then there's 1 million who do. So she didn't pull the trigger. And sometimes, dude, people feel stressed or they feel unattractive, and they do these stupid things just to feel good or just to feel sexy. And I'm not saying she was right. It was wrong what she did. But if she didn't fuck anyone, you could forgive her, sure.
Well, like, and the reason that I think that she got so caught up in this is because of her most recent hospital stint, she lost her license medically. So she literally has to sit at home and not do anything all day. So, like, I feel like she just kind of got caught in all of this positive attention that she was getting from other men, which also kind of makes me feel insecure about the attention of whether or not I was giving her enough attention.
Well, were you?
Well, I feel like I was making progressive changes. We went through a stint where, like, maybe 6 months we didn't have sex, and I just said, well, maybe it's not just her, it's the problem, maybe it's me, and I would start initiating, and ever since our 3rd anniversary, we had sex, like, I want to say, like, 6 times within a 4-month period, which is a drastic change compared to the 6 months prior.
Sure.
So I felt like I was making some positive changes into strengthening our marriage and our relationship, and it was after that I made all this effort that I found all this shit out, and I think that's what made me feel so deflated and defeated because I found out all this shit.
How does she respond when you tell her?
Well, it was kind of difficult at first because she was having memory issues because the reason she was in the hospital is because she had a seizure and it fucked up her short-term memory.
Okay.
But once we got through all that and I was able to basically unleash my soul on her about how fucked up this is, and like I say this with no ego, I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened to her.
Okay.
And I don't believe that anybody would have stuck with her through all the medical shit she's been through in the 6 years I've known her. Okay. But I also don't believe that not everybody is that shallow.
Right.
I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was your question?
I didn't have one. I think I'm just listening to you.
Basically, the things that were the most unforgivable, like I can understand seeking the attention because I had told her that I was answering ads on Craigslist with absolutely no intention of ever meeting anybody, but just the concept of, you know, getting that positive attention and whatever, you know, I can understand the attention seeking.
Wait, you did this before or after?
I did this before, but I also told her about it up front so that if she had a problem with it, she could tell me and I would stop it.
No, you should have opened the conversation with that. Yeah.
I did.
So, no. I mean, to me. I mean, I didn't know that. So, all right. So you're doing all this stuff, but you had previously been answering ads. So, being a woman, she did it in what was considered a more orderly fashion, and weeded through a lot of people better. So she was just doing what you did. And she didn't tell you, that's all. But maybe she thought you lied to her. Maybe she thought you didn't tell her everything.
Well, the thing that I can understand her doing that. Like, that's not the thing that I can't forgive her for. It's the sending of the nude pictures and giving out of our address that I just can't get the fuck out of my head.
Okay, so I get it, but don't forget, you started down a road, and then she all of a sudden went down that road, and she took a fork in the road that you didn't want her to take. She didn't fuck anyone. Again, if this is what's true, you crossed the line first, whether you told her or not. Most women don't want to hear that shit. And then she crosses the line and doesn't tell you. All right, maybe what she did was more fucked up, but you were playing in that game too. That's like saying, hey, we were arguing and I slapped her in the face and then she punched me in the jaw. Well, hey, yeah, what she did was she hit a little harder, but you know, come on, man, you put it out there first. So I don't see why it's unforgivable. She made some stupid fucking decisions. She put you in danger by giving out that address. She put herself in danger. But again, you know, she was probably very, very hurt by what you did. Just the fact that you wanted that attention probably hurt her, even though you told her.
No, I mean, it wasn't like I was doing it more for the entertainment value. Like, I would tell her about conversations that I would have. Like, I wouldn't even give out my real name half the time.
Okay.
Like I was answering these ads more of like a great story to tell people, not because I was actively searching to fuck someone else and just couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to be upfront with her about that immediately so that, you know, one, if she ever looks through my phone, I feel like I would have nothing to hide. And two, if she had a problem with it, I figured she could tell me and I would have no issue just dropping it. And
how long had you been doing it before you told her?
Like maybe a month.
Okay. So you had a month of total secrecy and sneakiness. And she knew that. So why should she believe you that it was only a month? See, what you're saying is like, hey, a little deception's okay as long as it's within my comfort parameters. And as long as I'm in control of what the deception is and I have the information. It's almost like people who get mad at you, like they want to tell racial jokes, but then if you tell a gay joke, they get mad. That's my line is okay, but your line's unacceptable because it crosses my line. Again, if she was out pulling gangbangs, I'd think you were right, but she wasn't.
So what you're saying, because I basically created a double standard, I should be more willing to forgive her for her mistakes.
Yeah, like just realize, hey, maybe you can both just go, fuck it. We both went down weird roads. Let's stop it, and let's just start over. We didn't fuck other people. Let's just stop it.
Well,
it was all fantasy.
I have since then, though.
Oh, right, since then. Okay. I probably wouldn't tell her that if you haven't.
I absolutely had no intention of it. I think it was more of me dealing with the betrayal as well as trying to, I guess, put like a balance as to whether or not I feel like I can continue on in this relationship if I find what I'm looking for by fucking somebody else, which I certainly didn't.
No, because you kind of want what you want. Like we all say we want our cake, we want to eat it. You know, I got to run, buddy, because I got to wrap up in 1 minute, but a very interesting call. But I would say if you want forgiveness, then you should forgive her. Keep that cheating shit to yourself and then both of you just get a fresh start. Use it as a fresh start, all right?
When I go to forgive her, do you think I should release all inhibitions whatsoever of her ever repeating that mistake?
No, you don't have to be stupid about it, but don't let it dictate the way you treat her. Don't look for it every 2 minutes. Give her the same amount of trust you want her to give you. And as time goes on, you'll both trust each other probably a bit more naturally.
That sounds great, man. I really appreciate the time, and I loved seeing you in Bethlehem a couple months ago. You were great.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. I got to wrap up in a second. Let me just give a quick update. Eric in New York says that Pat from Nyack needs to see a pain management specialist. They'll help you get off the medication. Great idea. So Pat from Nyack, maybe you check out a pain management specialist and get a sober support group. Those two things together, kind of a checks and balances system, might help you greatly. And Jay in New Jersey, what happened to Lady Di? She'd gone away to a facility. I don't know if it was a rehab or exactly, and she had called in. I just don't know. I have not talked to her. So hopefully we can get a Lady Di update for you by next week. But I don't know. I'm hoping she's okay. I've heard she has wet brain, but I don't know that to be true. No one in her family has confirmed that. That might have just been some fucking rumor-starting listener. But we do love Lady Di, so I'll talk to you guys next week. I just kind of ran out now thinking about Lady Di. I petered out. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you either in Ridgefield, Connecticut tomorrow, Vermont on Saturday, or Northampton, Mass on Friday. Take care, guys.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.